Hey all, thank you for joining me today. In this video, we're making the Gundam L by Hatter 3D. As always, there'll be links in the description down below if you want to download some printers for yourself and let Hatter 3D know that I took you there and showed you where it was. But with that being said, let's get on with this build. Now, this is not the first Hatter 3D model I've built. I built their previous Gundam model. Links will be in the description down below. Just check the video up in here to see it yourself. And yeah, I was really impressed. I am obsessed with Gunpla, Gundam. I'm really getting into it. So yeah, I wanted to try this out. It looked really interesting, and obviously this is a more updated model, so it should have better tolerances, but we'll find out in a moment. Now, I'll fast forward for the boring bits. I am going to be removing supports, and there were a lot of them. I decided to increase the threshold to what it originally was because I was having a bit of print failure with some of these, and that's not due to the design of the model. It's just due to layer adhesion and probably the orientation I placed it on a printer. But so I'm removing a lot more supports than maybe you will have to be. And like I said, I'm really in my Gundam mode at the moment. I've been looking at the high grade models and the perfect grade models, so this channel not only will play 3D printed stuff, I may include some Gundam builds. Let me know what you think in the comments if that is something you want to see me building the Gundams and see me try it for the first time properly using official Gunpla kits and, you know, lining the Gundams and so forth. But yeah, that's something I'm into on the side. But yeah, I really did enjoy this build. I'm going to start saying it's a really intricate build in terms of what it's done, but it's also very simple design. As you can see here, I am using snipper tools, I'm using carving tools to remove those extra bits. But unlike having normal Gundam kits, it's not on a rack, so it's just the supports I'm moving. Now, this, like I said, the issues I had in this model building were probably more due to my own, but there were a lot of parts I had to 3D print, particularly the smaller parts, like that was just due to layer adhesion, and it is what it is, nothing to it. But while you're watching this, I want to say thank you to every single one of you. We are close to hitting 12,000 subscribers. I can't believe how fast and how big the channel is growing so quickly. This time last year, you know, 2,000, 3,000, and in the last 6 months alone, we've almost gained 5,000 subscribers. So thank you so much. It really, really means the world to me. And each one of you are doing all the greatest things in the world. And I will soon let you know, depending on when you're watching this or what order you're watching this video, in my calendar, it is now February 2026. I will be doing a giveaway for basically saying thank you for supporting the channel. Now, getting back to building the model, this is one of the head bits. So off camera, you may see the editing here of me changing a bit of the edits. It's more a case of some things fit really nicely and there was a little snug fits, and I thought rather than recording with it, I just used the snipper tool, the scalpel, and scraper tool just to smooth out some bits so they fit in a bit nicer. But like I said, like there's that cut there. It's a bit of a dodgy cut, but yeah, I decided just to edit so you don't have to watch it. But yeah, I want to fit that a bit more smoothly. There aren't many pieces, they aren't too fiddly. Obviously this is based on a real Gunpla kit, and Hatter 3D has done their own version of it, which makes it great for us 3D print enthusiasts, so we can print our own Gundams without paying, you know, exorbitant prices, which I probably will be doing in the future. As I said, I'm going to be buying official kit soon. But yeah, this is a really great build. The instructions are very, very clear. I think again the instructions are provided with this, and like I said, I did download this from the Bamboo Labs Maker World, so that's how I printed this myself. But I'm not too sure if they have it on his or their other sites, but you know, send them a message and let them know where it is. This bit, like the prong at the top of the head, it felt a bit fiddly. I did have to print this about 4 times because every time I printed it, bits would fall off. There wasn't enough support on one side, or when there was support, there was misalignment, and I don't know what the reason was for that. I did realign it and change the orientation on the print bed, and like I said, I did more supports, but you can still see there's a bit of snaggly supports hanging down from the top bit where it wasn't well supported enough. Now this red bit on top, I put it this way because I thought it looked better than the other way, because I looked in the instructions, it just looked a bit odd facing down, if I'm being honest, covering the top part. And yeah, I'll just mention that. Now, putting this together, like I said, the instructions are pretty simple, easy. I will say, you calibrate your printer prior before this. That was just my fault. There wasn't like over extrusion or anything, but I think it was just more doing your printer calibration to make sure everything's working fine, because the pieces did fit well. They were, I'm glad to say they were more snug than too loose, because if it's too loose, it's absolute nightmare, as you may know when building for 3D printing, and especially if you're building models, the loose joints or bits are too loose, then you're sort of, you know, you're in the lurch. But if they're too tight, you can always expand that tightness. Well, the gaps and the tolerances to make it fit a bit smoother, and that was the case in this scenario where a lot of the bits were tight, so I just scraped a bit of way, and then yeah, they fit really well, which was really good. So that wasn't a problem. This waist bit, like I said, you're watching this video. This is an video instruction, so watch it as you're listening. Mute me if you want, if you don't want to hear me, and just watch the video. But I'm more describing my experiences. Now, this was really simple to get together. I like the way the shoulder pivots and the neck pivots move. They clip in, they rock really well. They're securely placed compared to the previous model where the joints were more ball joints, and as you may know, they will wear down over time. So will these, but ball joints I find in most models, from doing model kits and other things, or in 3D printing, they wear down a lot quicker. And I'm glad to see that the shoulder points weren't ball joints. Now, this backpack was another one of those scenarios. Editing again, it was a bit too tight, so I scraped it and put it in, and it popped into place. But as you can see, the way this design is so clear. Obviously, the inner details are more, I guess, simplified, but that's what, it's 3D printing. It's not injection molding, it's not a resin printer, this is FDM 3D printing. And with that comes layer lines, there comes less detail when it comes to smaller figures, but you know that. I did use a 0.2 diameter nozzle, layer height, and so yeah, I could have gone a bit higher with the layer height to make it a bit more detailed, but I think it came fine. I did try doing it on a smaller piece at a smaller layer height, but it didn't make any difference whatsoever, or nothing noticeable anyway. These leg bits, these were a bit of a nightmare. I'll be honest, I clipped off all the little supports and just super glued this part together. They did fit in, but I just wanted to put it together really, because super gluing versus using the clips works fine for me. And once again, it was just more, the tolerance was just a little bit too tight. For my liking in a way, and when I did push it in, they stuck in, and then they were a bit bent, and I thought, let me just snip off and put it together. Same with these elbow bits. Now, I will say this was the loosest part. I know I said this video, the tolerances are great, and they were for most part. These elbow joints, I did find them a bit loose. I did have to reprint these a few times myself. I found that they were just a bit more loose, where everything was really tight and really snug fitting and needed more cohesion to get together. This went in really good, which I know sounds really counterproductive, me saying it went really smoothly, but as this is a moving joint, especially you can do a lot of posing and manipulating the figure itself, I do want a bit more stiff. I want it to hold its pose, and as you'll see later on in the glamour shots in the end, it does work, but there are improvements to be made, and I don't know if that's down to the model design or just my printer, or maybe I should just scale it down by 0.5% or whatever, if that's possible anyway. The wrists, these were another bit. I did add super glue onto the ball joints of the hands, the one on the left of your screen. I didn't film it, just to make it like it fit in, but I knew the moment I would place any of the weapons into that hand, it would flop and flip, because it was flopping and flipping without anything in it. So I had a bit more glue, and that is a good technique if you've got any joints or anything that needs a bit more friction. Pop a bit of super glue or the equivalent of it, put it on the joint, but don't leave it there for too long, because it will stick and then it's permanently in that position. And just every so often move that joint around, move it around, and it will eventually coat everywhere and build up a nice layer of extra surface, which will friction against the other surface, which in turn will make it a bit stiffer. So that's what I did. Science lesson done. Now the waist part here was a nightmare. I placed and put this in multiple times, like it was just not going in, and I realized that for every reason the gold part was a lot bigger than the hole that I was meant to go into. So yeah, I snipped, cut, trimmed until it fit in there, and here's the finished product. Again, I didn't want to film this whole process. In honest, this 17-minute video has been condensed down from a 2-hour build, and most of that was doing support removal. Honestly, I did way too much support threshold, but it too low, so it was supporting everything at all different angles, and that was just because I was having adhesion layer problems. Let me start that one again. But putting it back together, as you can see, it's all really self-explanatory. Like, well done, Hatter 3D. You've really designed this model really well. It's kept it simple, kept it straightforward, and it is, even without the instructions, I could probably put it together and follow it really well, which is a great sign of design. If you can intuitively put something together, obviously it might not be perfect, that is a great sign. So well done, Hatter 3D. And here's what I was saying, this is where I had to carve out this gold bit again, just to make sure it's fit. I'm popping in and out, and that's just, again, because the size difference was just there. Going back to future things. So yes, I know I haven't released a Mr. Campbell Prince design model in about a month. And that's not for the lack of trying. As I said previously, my computer broke, my PC that I use, and my old iMac. So I am on the hunt out for a reasonably priced, decent computer that I can use, that can do CAD modeling, use it for my gaming, video, you know, a box. I'm not. But basically, yeah. So I probably will be releasing some of my older models which I haven't released, which you've never seen, and some things I built. I know I probably do a lot of Power Ranger builds, and I have done some Wild Force weapons as well. So I sort of skipped 2 generations of Power Rangers. So I may just release those in the meantime. So show thank you for all of you for being patient and being supportive. So yeah, I'll be sporadic in terms of what the content type is about. So there will be more reviews coming from different products and manufacturers, more videos like I usually do this. So I'm doing Hat 3D. So I will be showcasing more designers out there and the models that they've done, not just my own. And like I said, some ad hoc stuff which I design in the meantime. So like I said, yeah, I will release those sporadically throughout the months, or until I get my computer so I can start designing again properly. The foot bits, oh, this was absolutely perfect. This had no issue. Putting the feet in, slash the ankle holders was smooth. There was no problem whatsoever. I was surprised to find out about this is one piece. I know this was a very similar design, if not the same design as a previous Hat 3D Gundam that I did where it clipped together, but this one just felt a lot more put together, so to speak. Like I said, the tolerances are really tight, so maybe that is the reason why the ankles felt stiff. They felt posable. They are posable. And especially this front shield bit what goes in front of the ankles, this was a lot smoother compared to the other one. Granted, I did scale this up to 150%, so this is bigger than the box that I wanted to make it. Well, that one was 100%. I did scale it by 50% more, so this is a lot bigger than the standard model, and I just want that because I have bigger hands and those fiddly bits would have been a nightmare. Not to say that it wouldn't work, but yeah, maybe that is also another reason why I was struggling with some of the print adhesion and some of the bits being a bit looser, because I did scale up, and that will happen in time. Just because you design something in one scale and you scale up, you exponentially fill in those gaps, or make those gaps bigger, or make them smaller, depending on what you're doing, where you're shrinking. So if it's a 0.2mm gap, you do that by 200%, that becomes a 0.4mm gap. Granted, it is spread over a scale, so everything else scales with it, but those little minute things that may cause a little issue, or not too much if you want it's done smaller or bigger, once you change that dimension and its properties, you know, it changes with it. I'm really getting too technical. If that's too much, just tell me, you know, Mr. Camel Prince, send me a message, let me know. Anyway, back to the amazing model. Again, this was the thigh part. Again, I snipped it and just super glued it because I found it did clip together, but every time I squeeze it as tight as I could, I even used clamps on the side, and there was a seam that I just wasn't happy with. It worked, it stayed in its place, but I wanted it flush, so I did clamp it and super glue it together, so that is not going nowhere. Going back to the quality, yeah, I am so impressed in terms of the quality of this build. Like, it generally feels like a model I could purchase and buy. Granted, I am biased. I'm using my own 3D printer. I am a 3D print designer. I'm great. I love to support great designers like Hat 3D who are making great models. But outside of that, it really takes a lot to plan something to it to be printed by others out there in the world, so they can recreate what you had in mind. And this is, you know, I presume this is Hat 3D's vision. This is how they wanted it to look, how they wanted to fit, and yeah, it worked. Talking about this fire bit, this was one of the bits where I said it was too tight. I could not get this in. It actually snapped, so I reprinted it. I scraped away a bit of the material and it put back in. This knee joint, for everything, the other leg went in perfect. The second leg, the knee joint that clips in behind, with the knee braces that clip in behind the leg, knee where the knee would be, I was really struggling to put this in place. It took so much force, and I couldn't see any resistance. And it's just one of those things with 3D printing. You never know what's going to happen until you do it. Again, I'm just redoing the other leg. I'll fast through this, but you don't need to watch me build the exact same model in reverse, or mirror image of it. And there you go. They look stunning. They look great. They feel solid. And they clip onto the hip ball joint really well. In terms of the flaps that go at the front and the back, the mobility in this model is good. I won't say I don't like it. I just wish it had a bit more articulation, and because it's 3D, you can add more, right? So yeah, Hat 3D, if you're watching or listening, when you make your next Gundam model, I will be downloading that as well. If you can add more articulation, that would be great, so I can put it in more poses. But other than that, yeah, there is no problems, no issues whatsoever. Color wise, I presume this is the original color. I didn't have a shield in this, so in the instructions you will see a shield that accompanies this model. It wasn't available at the time of me downloading this. maybe it will be by the time you've watched this video, or it is already. But that's just to bear in mind, it did come with the staff with the little laser lance and the blaster, but there was no shield, which the original Gunpla model has. That being said, this is a super satisfying build. I love the colors, I love the shape, and you can see there's that shoulder bit is a bit loose. I did got a bit of super glue and did that same method about rotating till it dried up, and it got a bit stiffer, and again, that worked fine. The blaster, there were just so many little clips in there. I decided to snip them all and just super glue it in half. Again, that could be me down to scale it up again. There were just more opportunities for failure because it got bigger, so I just snipped and super glued it. What can I say? It works and it holds into place, so I cannot complain. And yeah, like I said, thank you all so much for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of that. Look out for the future competition. I don't know if I'm gonna do it international or keep it UK based, as I'm based in UK, and international shipping, especially these days with everything that's going on in the world, costs an arm and a leg. It is crazy. So yeah, hold up. And if I do one, we may do on different platforms. Yeah, please remember to subscribe. A whopping 98% of you are not subscribed to this channel, which is absolutely maddening. So if you are watching this, please share a like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, whether good or bad. I love to know. I want to hear your feedback so I can improve as a creator and do things better. So yeah, let me know what you think. Please follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, share, like on there as well. And if you are subscribed to this channel, please go over to my Instagram and follow me over there. Please, it is at Mr. Campbell Prince. Links in the description, just so we can increase that following as well. The more I have, the more I can do, the more I can show you. And here we go. There's the finished model, looking amazing. Even though I did put it myself, I must say, as I put it myself. Sorry. And yeah, like I said, the articulation is good for what it is. Everything held in place, especially when I put the super glue in the shoulder joints, it held into place really nicely. And I'm just pushing down the waist shrink. I realized I didn't push it all the way. And as you can see, it looks wonderful. There is not a single complaint to be had. And I want to thank Hatter3D once again for creating amazing models for us to share. Please like, share, subscribe, follow Hatter3D, let them know I sent you. And as always, stick around for the next video and I'll catch you later. With that being said, then let's get onto the glamour shots. Let's go!
Electric whispers linger in the night. Through the chaos, he ignites the light. Welcome to the realm where fantasies take flight. Mr. Campbell Prince, let your spirit soar.